Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm State Attorney Amira Fox. Thank you for joining us here today, both in person and those of you watching online. I am joined here today by Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino. As your state attorney, I convened the Lee County Grand Jury this week to hear two unrelated cases. The grand jury has brought forth indictments in both of those cases. I want to thank the members of the grand jury for their incredible hard work and attention during this past 2 days of hearing difficult evidence and testimony in very hard cases. Defendant Nicholas Stephen Canfield has been indicted for 1 count of first-degree murder, a capital felony, 1 count of sexual battery on a child under the age of 12, also a capital felony, and 3 counts of aggravated child abuse, all first-degree felonies. The first 3 charges are for 1 victim. The 2 additional counts of aggravated child abuse are for 2 other victims. The indictment charges that Canfield murdered a child on or about April 29, 2020 in Lee County by blunt force trauma to her head and her spine. The indictment charges that the additional crimes, sexual battery, and the 2 other counts of aggravated child abuse happened on 1 or more occasions between March 1st, 2020 and April 29, 2020, also in Lee County. The allegations in this case portray horrendous, disgusting, and heartbreaking crimes against children. Victimizing a child is harming someone who has no way to defend themselves. Unconscionable acts. The work of the Lee County Sheriff's Office, my office, the Child Advocacy Center, the Lee County Medical Examiner's Office from District 21, and today the work of the grand jury and the indictment are the first steps towards justice in these alleged series of crimes. The Lee County Sheriff's Office worked so hard on this case and handled the investigation. Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino is here to talk to us about his agency's role in this case. Carmine.
Thank you, State Attorney Amira Fox and your team. I want to take a moment and say, when I say team, there is no I in team, and I am so proud of our major crimes detectives that work tirelessly around the clock with our state attorney detectives. And what you see here is that cohesive team, and that team is the reason that our suspect is where he belongs, behind bars. Words cannot express how we feel to hear a case like this and to see a case like this. Disgusting does not capture what we feel. He is behind bars where he belongs. I can't thank everybody enough for their hard work in this case. We will never stop. We will protect those that can't protect themselves.
In an unrelated case, the Lee County Grand Jury has indicted Jessica Nicole Wright for first-degree murder, unlawful distribution of fentanyl, a capital felony, causing the death of another, sale or delivery of a controlled substance, sale and delivery of a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a school, and possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell within 1,000 feet of a school. The indictment charges that Wright, on or about August 22nd, 2019, distributed a drug, fentanyl, that caused the death of a woman. In Florida, the first-degree murder statute allows a person to be charged with first-degree murder if they distribute a controlled substance that causes a person to die. I want to make it clear, if you distribute an illegal substance in the 20th Judicial Circuit that causes someone's death, and the evidence and the facts are there to support the crime, you will be charged with first-degree murder. Wright was also previously arrested in Operation Block Party that concluded in September, led by the Narcotics Enforcement Task Force, otherwise known as NetForce, which I created with the help of Sheriff Carmine Marcino and many others in 2019 to tackle the illegal drug trade and the people who peddle that poison in our community. Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino and I stand together in this fight against illegal drugs. It will not be tolerated in our community. Sheriff Marcino, if you would like to say a few words about your agency's role in our fight against illegal drugs.
Thank you, State Attorney Amira Fox. I want to thank our State Attorney for creating NetForce, our fellow sheriffs and members of NetForce. I've made it clear since the very beginning, and our State Attorney and I stand right next to each other telling you, if you deal poison on our streets in our county, it's not if you're going to jail, it's when. It's when. You're not going to deal poison on our streets, and when you do, I can guarantee you, my Bearcat, my SWAT team is going to come, they're going to knock on your door, and you're coming out, and you're going to prison. That's the end of it. There's zero tolerance. We're not going to tolerate it. No poison on our streets. We have amazing people that live in this county. They have law and order, and they're going to be safe. We're going to protect everybody in this county, so I'm very proud of the team here. The team that we have here is unstoppable, and again, we won't stop. Drugs off the streets. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming this afternoon. These cases obviously are now active prosecutions, so we will not be able to take any questions on them, but we appreciate your attention and getting the word out to the community. Thank you.
Can I ask if Jessica Nicole Wright is the first person to be charged under that statute in the county?
In this county, in fact, in this circuit, this is the first person to be charged under that statute.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
I'll be issuing a press release shortly and copies of the indictments, so you can